Hey guys, hope you're having a good one. It's Labor Day, and I thought what better time to get out some of the Megos and do a video. Haven't done one in a while on the Megos, so let's go and do that. Anyway, today I'm going to focus on Batman, Robin, and some of the other characters in that series are the greatest superheroes. So first of all, here's my original, which it's a little dusty, so I've got to get him dusted off before I put him on camera. This is Batman, and this one is, probably a replacement, I'm sure, of this. But it's pretty much original other than that, as far as I'm aware. And it's in pretty good condition. And these are toys that I always really loved. I love the figures of the Megos. And here's the Robin that goes with him. It's not in quite as good a shape. Switch the hand here. His cape definitely is a little less perfect. He does have his shoes, and he does have some of the gloves, but I don't know if those are original. They kind of look like they're newer, so I don't know. But Batman and Robin together. And then put those down. Some of the other characters in that series of the Batman toys, her bat is coming off there. Is Batgirl. It's a little dusty again. And I'm assuming a replacement bat there that's trying to come off. She's got her boots. She's got her utility belt. So she's in pretty good condition. This does come off. She's definitely got helmet hair, but she looks good. So Batgirl's another one. Her limbs seem pretty good. Still bending. Same thing with the legs. Not a whole lot, but they bend. So that's that one. And then some of the villains. Now, of course, there's Penguin, and he's one of my favorites as far as a villain, Penguin. I always see a lot of these where the hat has, it's got wear marks, and I think you could take some black Sharpie or something probably and fix that if you really wanted to. And he's got some tears on his tails here. They're certainly not perfect, but he's in pretty good condition. It's a little loose, a little wobbly, but still, I really like him as far as a figure and a character. Got the Riddler. This one is pretty simple, pretty basic, not a lot to him. I don't think he had, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he had boots or shoes. I think it was just this, the way I remember it. I do like those purple gloved hands, which are actually just, that's the color of the plastic. And a very simple mask. So that's the Riddler. And then one of the favorites, again, is Catwoman. Now, to me, this one looked the least like what she looked like on the TV series, but she's from a different incarnation. So I like this toy a lot. She's still pretty flexible and movable. Got her tail. And I think it would have been good if she had some ears, for her up here. Cat ears, obviously. They did end up redoing this one recently, I believe. 99% sure. Just another couple quick ones that aren't directly related to Batman, but I like a lot. Aquaman, which I've shown in another video, I know. His arm is loose for sure here, so I don't touch it a whole lot. He's got some fuzz on him. And then he does have these gloves. Again, probably reproduction, but I'm not sure. He's got his fins on his legs. And that Aquaman was always one of my favorites. I think he's probably the least respected superhero among this DC group. And then the last one of this group I want to show you of the old-timer Megos is the Green Arrow figure. Again, one of my favorites. I do have the bow up there. I didn't get it down, but he's got his pack of arrows here, which of course don't come out, but he's got them. And I just always thought this was such a cool figure. I love the beard, and it's a curly Q beard. And of course this hat does come off. Yeah, just always really liked it, and I was disappointed when you know, they didn't do it in some of the other things sometimes. Now, then we had the Megos, as they were called, or Megos. I usually call them Megos. These came out in, these were done by Mattel, and they came out in, I'm trying to see the date here, around 2010-11 time frame. So you have the new one that they did, which is very similar to some of the older ones. However, there are some differences, obviously, like on the mask and the headpiece. You can see the differences. And I actually like this one a little bit better as far as overall look. Obviously, I've never taken this one out of the package, as you can see, and I don't have one out of the package. I wouldn't mind getting one of these days. But therefore, he's in great condition. Now, I believe they made, and you can tell, they made the capes out of a better material this time. Not quite as, you know, quite as shimmery and shiny as that. And it's also longer, which I like. I love the packaging on these newer ones. And it showed, you know, some of the ones in that series. They had Batman and Two-Face, Black Manta, and Aquaman in this particular series, which was, it doesn't say on here. I can't remember if that was the first one or the second one. Set of 4. They did them in sets of 4. Now keep in mind that when those came out, they were $3-4 a piece in the 70s. These were $20 a piece, so a big difference. And then I wanted to show you some from a series after that. That was made by Mattel. And, you know, they did some of the ones from this, but not a whole lot of the ones I just showed you. But then you got Figures Toy Company that has started doing these. And, of course, they do them in the packaging that you could actually open and reseal. So here's, and this one is from the Batman Classic series itself. The look, I mean. And I really like these. I got these as a set of 4 on eBay from somebody who was selling them, and I got a better deal than had I bought them straight from a distributor. And so this is the Adam West Batman. And on the back, you can see some of the ones they end up doing, which I need to get some more, like Penguin and Egghead. I would love to have those. I don't have those yet from this. Wouldn't mind having, you know, the actual Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson as well. But I got this set up here. Which, by the way, I didn't show Joker in the original Megos, but I do have him. I just didn't see him when I went to grab. Oh, there he is. He's up there. You can see him up there next to my other Robin. So, okay. Let me show you some from the rest of this series from Figures Toy Company. And by the way, these I believe generally are around $25 a piece. So now they've gone up another $5 a piece. And these are from 2014. So here's the Robin in that series. And if you compare him, let me get the other Robin back. If you compare the two, I mean, obviously, first of all, there's a height difference. And you know, these I'm assuming are not made with rubber bands in the middle like these are. They break after a while. I gotta get that glove I dropped off. Anyway, this is what he looks like, and his cape's kind of messed up at the top here, but looks pretty good. I think the tights that he's wearing, or whatever they consider them, those I don't love. The material and the sheen and the fact that they're striped looking. Don't love that, but the rest of it I do like. And I like those shoes. You know, that compared to these shoes, you know, I like these a little better actually. But you know, they're again, from the TV show version. By the way, if you haven't noticed, Egghead was Vincent Price on here. So that's kind of interesting. And then you have Joker in this series, which is actually pretty similar to the one from the original Megos. Not exact, obviously. Again, taller and looks better made. The makeup is better, closer to what we're used to from the TV show, obviously, since it's from that, or made from that. Same back as the others. They don't have any differences on them. I think what would be nice is if they had the character featured bigger and the other characters down below, you know. So, but I like that they show what all's available. Too many toy series don't do that these days. In the past, they seem to always do that. But again, this was from 2014, and Figures Toy Company is doing such a good job on so many of these. There's so many that I would love to get, but you can only get so many, and you only have room for so many, so you do have to kind of pick and choose. These are definitely better, by the way, than the Mattel ones. I like the Mattel ones from, 5 or so years ago, but they did such a horrible job of marketing them, Mattel did, and they were so sporadic, and you'd go to Toys R Us and you couldn't hardly find any, and it was hard to get people interested in something they could never hardly see or find, and some people didn't know about them. A lot of people probably didn't know about them. And then the last one of the 4 is the Riddler. And now I like this Riddler, definitely costume is better than this one, I think. It just, I don't know, it looks less cartoonish. These are based more on a cartoon, so that makes sense. But, I just like this one better. Still love my original Megos. I'm not saying I don't, but, when you're comparing two things, you're going to like something better generally, and that's what the case here is. I like these better. Probably the only one of the 4 that I like better on the original is Robin. I love the bright colors on that one, and I don't know, I like that one better. But the Figures I like better, Figures Toy Company, the other 3, I think I would say. So I'd be interested to know what you guys think and how you think the 3 different brands compare. Of course, the original Mego, the Mattel figures, which I have quite a few of up top here, and then also these new toys or figures from Figures Toy Company. So, hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.